I'm liking all this stuff in the media about Alonso and Liverpool because I would be very happy if this was sorted out quick smart. And the quicker the better, in all honesty. Right, let's get into some talk about managerial situations because we did say we're going to be talking about Bayer Leverkusen. So, Bayer Leverkusen are preparing for the possibility of losing Xabi Alonso. Hansi Flick was considered as a potential successor. He's most likely, though, going to look towards Barcelona. He's high up on Barcelona's wish list. But look, I can't be the only one who feels like all signs are pointing to Alonso coming in to take the Liverpool manager's job. We know that there's the spoken but not written agreement that if a club of these three, Liverpool, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, come in and Xabi Alonso wants the role, that there is an agreement in principle that he'd be allowed to take the jobs. Now, of course, there'll be compensation due to Leverkusen, and we spoke about that yesterday. 8 figures is rumoured to be the minimal amount, so you're talking €10 million upwards. And again, with other coaches as well. So Ruben Amorim, from Record in Portugal, who are a Portuguese media outlet via Liverpool or LFC Transfer Room, they say Sporting manager Ruben Amorim have claimed that he'd leave the club in the summer in case he doesn't win any titles this season. So I think he means he'd leave in the summer if he doesn't win any titles this season, with Liverpool as a potential destination, but he strictly told his team not to have any conversations until the summer. So basically he's ruled himself out of the Liverpool job there, because there's not a cat's chance in hell that we wait until the summer to appoint a manager. That would just be stupidity. I get what he's saying. He's in a job. He's focused for the remainder of the season. But if he wants to be considered for the Liverpool manager's job, then that stance is certainly going to have to soften up, you would imagine. Because we can't wait that long. We need to know who the next manager is. And then they can get back to managing, if they're managing currently, whoever they're managing, and keep their focus on that for the end of the season. But Liverpool need some answers to sporting director, manager, player contracts. These are things that the longer this situation drags on, I think the more concerned we all start to become, and players would probably be included in that. Asif said there is not a better club than Liverpool. Absolutely, sir. Now look, there are players who have particular clubs that they grew up idolising, you know. So you always have to take that into account. But if you're at Liverpool right now, I don't see why you'd want to leave. You know, times are looking bright ahead. Yes, it's a huge shock to everybody that Jurgen Klopp is going to be departing at the end of the campaign, and that's not ideal. But whoever comes in is obviously going to be a top coach, or they're not going to be coming to Liverpool. They're going to be inheriting a really good, refreshed team that they can still put their own stamp on. So honestly, I get that players might be a little bit concerned by it and certainly disappointed because they believe Jurgen would have been there till 2026. But I don't envision or hope that many people are going to be looking for the exit door. What I would say to, I don't know if this will put your fears at ease at all, but Madrid will only have so much money as well. Like, I get it, they need a bit of a refresh in fullback and a few other positions, but they're going to put a lot of money into the pot for a forward, whether that's Kylian Mbappe, whether that's Erling Braut Haaland, whether that's somebody else. Well, let's wait and see. We know they need fullbacks. It looks pretty, well, at least the last time I read up, it looked pretty likely that Alphonso Davies will leave Bayern and go over to Real Madrid. I know Trent has a great friendship with Jude Bellingham, and I know that's a fairly easy link to make there as well. But I just can't see it. I can't see it happening for Trent. He's a captain in waiting. He's at his boyhood club. I assume he's feeling fulfilled here. I hope. Yes, his contract needs to be sorted, but, you know, of the three of them, if I was to put it in order of being concerned, I would say Salah I'm most concerned about, Verge somewhere in the middle, and Trent probably least. But that's just my gut feeling. I don't have any information on that. Liverpool would ask 150 million for Trent. Real Madrid can't afford that. Well, honestly, I don't know, because at the end of this season, he'd have a year to go on his contract. I don't know these days. You know, a year to go on your contract used to mean a knockdown price, right? But not so much over the past 5 years. You've seen some players, Kane as an example, go for €100 million. Hazard, 1 year to go, similar thing. We were talking about Mohamed Salah, but that was to Saudi Arabia. So Again, high fees. So I have no idea. I don't even want to find out what the asking price or what the value of Trent might be. I'd rather just find out how long his new contract is for. One club man, in my opinion, said Toes. I agree. Now look, we're all assuming that, but let's wait and see. But these are the things that I guess we now have to concern ourselves with, because if Kloppo was here till 2026, I don't really have any concerns other than what John W. Henry wants to do with the Mohamed Salah situation. Outside of that, I think the players would be all up for staying. At least I hope. So, the announced resignation of Jurgen Klopp also has consequences in Germany, according to Christian Falk. Bayer Leverkusen are preparing for the possibility of coach Xabi Alonso going to Liverpool. I'm liking all this stuff in the media about Alonso and Liverpool, because I would be very happy if this was sorted out quick smart. And the quicker the better, in all honesty. Right, a little bit more defending of me here from the club. Jamie Carragher has said something that, look, I'm not going to go in on him for. I think it's a valid concern, but I just slightly disagree with Mr. Carragher. So Jamie Carragher believes Liverpool will fall back into fighting for a top 4 spot after Jurgen Klopp leaves the club. Writing in a column for The Telegraph, Jamie Carragher said, maybe there will be a seamless transition at City and Liverpool after Klopp and Guardiola have gone. More likely is the prospect of them falling back into the pack. There's no substitute for continuity, which is what Liverpool will be seeking in those they consider to replace Klopp. Now, look, I get what Jamie's saying, and I agree with him with regard to there's nothing, you can't be consistency or continuity. I've said that very phrase many times here over the years. But I think there's a bit too much about this group. So if it's just a matter of a managerial change and we don't lose any of the players we don't want to lose, I don't think I agree with Jamie. I still think we're the best of the rest. I can understand how somebody could maybe see City are, with that continuity of Pep, maybe still a step ahead. But I wouldn't be fearing falling away. I think we can still expect a good season next season. But I guess while we don't know who the manager is, we're all a little bit on edge. And maybe that includes Jamie Carragher, I don't know. But yeah, I slightly disagree with him, but I understand where he's coming from. And the reason, I guess, is I don't understand who he thinks is going to bypass us in that time as well. Because Arsenal are still a striker and fighting spirit away from realistically challenging, in my opinion. Spurs will get better with Ange Postecoglou, but they're still there to be gotten at. United are a long, long, long way away from challenging at the top end of the league properly. Newcastle have had a bit of a crazy season with the Champions League, been knocked out of that. Injuries, of course, as well. So I don't really have many concerns, because I think maybe outside the City we are the best of the rest, regardless of who the manager is.